Hi friends, Saira Map. இது ஒரு green social media. இது Facebook மாதிரி ஒரு social media platform. இதுல pictures, videos and voice chat roomலாம் இருக்கு. இதுல account open பண்ணி verify வாங்குற ஒவ்வொரு users பேர்லயும் ஒரு மரக்கன்று நடப்படும். இத sign up பண்ணி account open பண்ணும்போது verification email வரும். அத verification பண்ணா மட்டும் தான் account open ஆகும். நீங்க என்ன user name கொடுக்குறீங்களோ அதை கொடுத்து தான் login பண்ணணும். email address போடக்கூடாது. account open பண்ணி cover photo, profile picture எல்லாம் வச்சு ரெகுலரா ஆக்டிவேட்டா இருந்தா மட்டும் தான் அது verified accountல எடுத்துக்கொள்ளப்படும். அதர் ஆப்ஸ்ல அப்லோட் பண்ணாத வாட்டர்மார்க் இல்லாத ஓன் கண்டென்ட் வீடியோ போட்டு வெரிஃபை வாங்குற யூசர்ஸ்க்கு கிஃப்ட் உண்டு. அது என்ன கிஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கறத அந்த ஆப்ல மெசேஜ் வரும். சாயரா மேப் லிங்க் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. சாயரா மேப் iOS and Google Play Storeலயும் இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க.
The search for who am I? The same search expanded them into who was I in my previous birth? Who am I in this birth? What was I doing in my previous birth? What will I be doing in this birth? What am I going to be after my death? Where will I go after death? People who had indestructible fame in this world had searched the answers for the above questions within themselves. They were glorified as a son of knowledge. All others had searched for answers outside. These people were always worried about, what is the world thinking about me? Do my friends and relatives, who are the beneficiaries of my help, appreciate me or depreciate me? They are very happy to receive the appreciation and get annoyed when they receive depreciation. We lament that they have not clearly explained to us. What did they find? Who found them inside? How did they find it? What was it they found? We are unable to understand about their search. We also started acting like sages and following their methods of searching. Who am I? One can follow the methods of search of sages. However, one must understand their path clearly and then follow their method. We can also search after determining the following before starting the search. What is searching? What is to be searched? Again, one must clearly understand in their mind about, will the search finally end up as the search for God? Is it for the material wealth in the name of searching for God? You should not start the search with the objective of, this is mine. I had earned it. It must belong to me only. Chapter 5. Where are we? Where are we, or all of us? What are we doing? To whom are we doing? Why are we doing it? In today's world, human beings are running from morning to night till the time they go to sleep. Where are they running? Why this hurry? What are we going to lose? After waking up in the morning, if we notice that the people walking on the street, how many types of vehicles, how many types of human faces, how many languages spoken by people, everyone running without time even to notice the people around them. Why are they running? What is their purpose for running? Everybody has only one objective. Money alone is life. Everybody is running in the desire to overtake the other, to raise their level of life. Who are the winners among these people? Where are the winners now? Where are they taking rest after running? The people who are running along with them also do not know, and the siblings of those runners also don't know. Even the person who is exhausted after running also doesn't know. The people who had witnessed them all over the life also don't know. Where is the person who accumulated all these wealth by running all their life? What did they took along with them from their accumulated wealth? They can't take anything with them. It is there itself from where it was taken. At last, when they are sitting after exhausting, they start of thinking, why were we running? We stop running only when we come to know that nothing is possible beyond this now. Our mind is not accepting the fact to stop the running when it's not possible to run anymore. Like a relay race, we hand over this race to our children and make them to continue the race. When are we going to stop this race? We also understand that this entire race will stop when the nature stops functioning. Even then, we are running to accumulate wealth. How is this wealth going to be useful? All this accumulated wealth will help you only in maintaining your body in luxury and comfort. It will not be useful for anything other than this. This point is emphasized by Siddharth Tirumular in the following stanza. Tannadu saayai tanakkudavadu kan. Even after finding that your own shade is not useful to you. Tennadu maadendriruppargal ஏழைகள். Oh, the poor ones, you still believe that your children will protect you. உன்னுயிர் போம் உடல் ஓக்கப் பிறந்தது. Oh, the ignorant ones, you still believe that your accumulated wealth will protect you. கண்ணது காணொளி கண்டுகொளீரே. Find the God who resides in your eyes as the divine light and become peaceful. Human beings can sleep under the shade of a tree. They can sleep by the shade of a building. However, no one can sleep in their shade itself. Even then, oh poor people, you still believe that your children will protect you. Oh, the ignorant ones, you still believe that your accumulated wealth will protect you. Find the God who resides in your eyes as the divine light through the eyes of your mind and live peaceful, is the advice given by Siddhar Tirumular in the above stanza. While life exists in your body in this world, try to realize God. Otherwise, your kith and kin will not allow your body to be kept in your home after the life leaves your body. This is emphasized by Siddhar Sivavakiyar in the following stanza. Mangalam kavarnda podu vaithu vaithu adukuvar. When a pot is broken, people collect the broken parts and stack them for future use. Venkalam kavarnda podu venumendru penuvar. When a bronze pot is broken, people collect the broken part and stack them for future use. Nankalam kavarnda podu narumendru poduvar. After our death, kith and kin will be quick to take it to the burial place to avoid bad smell. Yen kalandu nindra mayam enna mayam isane. You were ignorant to take steps to know that which is inside you. Whenever a pot is broken, people collect the broken parts and stack them in their home for future use. Similarly, if a bronze pot is broken, people collect the broken parts and stack them in their home for future use or for exchanging for a new one. When your body was worn out by your running to earn for your family and children after your death, your kith and kin will not keep your body for more than a day at your home because the body will smell badly and they will hurry to take it to the burial place. You were not aware that there was someone within your badly smelling body who kept you alive all these years for you to run around to earn for your kith and kin. You were ignorant and under the influence of illusion. You didn't take steps to know that which is inside you. Siddhar Sivavakiyar warns that you're wasting your time in wandering outside for the one which is inside you. All of us are searching for God outside of us. We are performing various prayers and worship only to this body which is going to be dead one day. People are not worshipping the God which is residing inside them. Instead, they are performing worship to the body which will perish one day. People must perform Shiva Raja Yoga to worship the God inside. Nowadays, the mind and the ear of the people are loaded only with their physical needs. We travel to hill station to indulge our body in comfort and luxury. People also go to spa and massage parlors to pamper their physical body. When the body demands cool falls water, we travel to Kutralam Falls in south of Tamil Nadu. When the stomach is hungry, people search for food. For physical gratification of the same body, people search for a partner for copulation. The body demands air conditioning, food and alcohol. The body needs clothing and jewels for beautification. All these are created and marketed only to satisfy the physical needs of the body. Here people worship the corpse, which is the dead body, while the God is languishing inside. Corpse is speaking. Will corpse speak? Yes, corpse is speaking. We call the body as corpse because the body is always thinking and speaking about its comforts while neglecting the soul. The moment a person starts listening to the demands for comforts of the physical body while ignoring the wisdom from the soul, we are sure that the corpse is speaking. As soon as we get up in the morning and start reading the daily newspaper, we come across the news items like murder, suicide. It's all evident that those people were listening to their corpse instead of listening to the knowledge from the soul. The worshipping of corpse is not a new one. It had started from the ancient times. The king of the Devas, called Indran, lost his mental balance by the beauty of Agalyai, wife of Gautama saint. His inner knowledge advised him that all this beauty is nothing compared to your own wife. However, his mind dictated that you will derive more pleasure from Agalyai compared to your wife, the queen of the Devas, called Indrani. Indran neglected the advice of his soul and listened to the voice of his mind, which directs his body. In a similar fashion, Agalyai felt the difference during the copulation, and her soul advised her that this is not your husband, someone in the disguise of your husband, and chase him out. However, she came to know that the person in disguise is the king of Devas, Indran, and her body demanded to enjoy the copulation, and she succumbed to the voice of her body. In both of them, wisdom had become mute spectator, and the body had the upper hand. The end result, the copulation, was nothing but the worship of the corpse. Both of them had to endure the curse of the Gautama saint. It is not only the story of Indran and Agalyai. In the world, the life of many people are in the same situation. From highly educated, intelligent people to illiterates, all are at the command of their body. Knowledge has become a silent spectator again in all these cases. It is somewhat true that if the life is lost, then the body will also perish. At the same time, we should not leave the soul in a lurch while listening to the demands of the body. Siddharth Tirumular had believed initially that the body is waste. However, later he realized that the one free of all blemishes is residing inside the body and started maintaining the body in good condition. Without worshipping and thinking about the soul residing inside our body and worshipping only the physical body is compared as the worship of the corpse. Currently, only the worship of the corpse is popular all over the world. Worshipping of corpse is Western culture. Our people have taken it in their hands. Sincere seekers of knowledge from the Western nations are flying into our country in search of it. Our method of corpse worship is wrong. Our body and senses which directs our body and our mind are engaged in the worst type of preaching to us. We are all living now in a cage without our knowledge that we are living with a thought that this cage itself is comfortable. We are always afraid to come out of the cage of our body. Our mind knows clearly that we are locked up in a cage. Even if it knows, it is afraid to come out of the cage. Why this fear? What is the reason for this fear? Please think about it. The root cause of this fear is our attachments, affections, and the attachment towards the accumulated wealth, attachment towards the spouse, and affection towards the children. We are all thinking that this is real. This is the reason for us to be locked up in our own cages. Tortoise always lives inside its shell. Human beings also live and die within the boundaries of their bodies. These types of people understand only the language of their bodies. They cannot hear the voice of the soul, the object of God, which is inside of everyone, which they cannot understand. Human beings believe that they are their body alone. Because of this reason, they always lead their life in the belief that the I represents only body and not the soul. Finally, they perish without knowing the soul. This is sheer ignorance. When someone dies in the world, till that day, even after knowing the object referred by I and mine, people must search for that object and must pay last respects to that soul only. However, we are paying the past respect to the body with bucket and garlands. Have you ever thought whether this is correct? It is similar to the situation when someone retires from employment. The colleagues conducting a farewell function to the objects used by the retiree and for the retiring person. It is also ignorance. Now ceremony for sending off of the soul has disappeared, and in its place only the talk of the body is heard in a loud manner. First, we must understand that only our mind is speaking through our body. If you have to be liberated from the talk of your body, then you must be liberated from the control of your mind. Where are we imprisoned? What is the reason for our imprisonment? We are imprisoned by our attachment and affection. How to obtain freedom from this? Our affection itself has turned into our cage. What will be our reply for the question, who want to be freed from this cage? Our normal reply is that only those who are imprisoned must be freed. This answer is not the right one here. Because if we do not know that we have been imprisoned by our attachment, then how can we work towards liberation? If we do not think that we must get liberation, then where is the question of freedom from bondage? How will one get the feeling that they must be freed if they do not know that they are in bondage? One day those people who know that they are in bondage, one day those people who are feeling that they are in bondage will get freedom from bondage. If a bird is brought up in a cage from the beginning, then it will never think of flying. It will feel that even its own wings are a burden. The bird must feel that it is imprisoned in a cage. Ganapati Dasar explaining this in the following stanza. Mundina pirappu vanda mudanmayayum ariyai ippal. You do not know the truth of your previous birth, and pindina pirappu vanda perumayayum ariyai needan. You do not know the proud reason for the current birth as human being. Andara pachi pola alaigindrai agattule. Wandering like a bird unable to fly or land within you. Muchandiyai arindu nagai nadarai charvai ninje. O mind, find the three-corner point and surrender to the Lord with the snake ornament. You do not know the truth of your previous birth and the reason for the current birth as human being. What are the benevolent acts done to get this human birth? You are unable to think about this human birth and not feel proud of this birth. We are struggling like a bird which is unable to fly up or land in a good location. We must feel proud of our human birth and work towards attaining knowledge and lead a peaceful life. Why are you wandering with suffering? To know about yourself within you, focus your mind always on the three-corner point and surrender to the Lord wearing the snake as his ornament. Why are we imprisoned in this attachment? Why are we unable to understand that we are in bondage? What is binding us with our body? Why this bondage is created? Which object is binding us in reality? What is the benefit of this bondage? Is this bondage good or bad for us? Will this bondage come with us till our end? What is the reason for this affection and attachment? One must think deeply to find the answers for the above questions. If we think deeply, we will understand that who had attached soul to this body, which is preventing us from knowing this? What is preventing us from knowing our real self? From our birth to death, only our mind directs our memory and all our thoughts through our senses and the pleasures of this world. As long as human beings are under the control of this mind and listen to the voice of the mind, there is no chance for the liberation from the cage of the attachment. Only when our mind thinks, first we must escape from the attachments of this world and attain freedom. Then only we will attain liberation. Only we have to remind our mind about who are we. As long as our mind remains as a sick patient of our worldly attachment, we will attain liberation only when the mind comes to know about the doctor called knowledge. Till that time, we will be tied down and imprisoned in the cage of our attachment. The main reason we tell everyone is that, what can I do? It is all my fate. We have to make an effort to remove it and find the path to liberation. The Siddhar explains in the following composition. What are the obstacles in our path preventing us to achieve this liberation? What is preventing us to know who we are? What is holding us to reach our true state of godliness? The following is the Siddhar composition. Tanendra aanavattai நீக்க மாட்டார், won't get rid of the ego, the I. Sandala கோபத்தை தள்ள மாட்டார். People are not ready to get rid of the anger, which may lead one to the extent of murdering someone. ஊன் என்ற சுகபோகம் ஒழிக்க மாட்டார், won't get rid of the comforts given to the body made of flesh. உற்று நின்ற சையோகம் விடுக்க மாட்டார், unable to avoid the pleasure of copulation with the women who always occupies their mind. பான் என்ற ஞான வெள்ளம் உண்ண மாட்டார், they won't drink the elixir of wisdom to destroy the effects of good and bad deeds. பதறாமல் மௌனத்தே இருக்க மாட்டார், unable to maintain solitude without being excited by the world. வானென்ற பொருள் என்ன எளிதோ மைந்தா, O my son, it is not that easy to find the object of the space which is omnipresent. மகத்தான மனம் அடங்க எய்யும் காணே. It is easy for you, just bring your mighty mind under control. The Siddhar lists the following for liberation from the worldly attachment. Get rid of the ego, the I. Get rid of the anger, which may lead one to the extent of murdering someone, but they won't get rid of it. Get rid of the comforts given to the body made of flesh, but they find it difficult to get rid of it. Unable to avoid the pleasure of copulation with the women who always occupies their mind. But one must try. They won't drink the elixir of wisdom, which will destroy the effects of both the good and bad deeds. They won't make an effort to find out the location of the elixir. Unable to maintain solitude without being excited by the events of the world and its urgency. But they are always excited for searching for God and seeking the required boons. People will wander forests and mountains for it. Oh my son, it is not that easy to find the object of the space which is omnipresent. There is an easy way to it. It is also not that easy. Don't run around to search for it. It is within you from your birth to death. It is easy if you just bring your mind under control. Never stop your effort to achieve it. Human beings can control anything. They are able to tame the elephant, which is many times bigger and stronger than human beings. People bring the wild lion under control. Even they are able to establish friendship with tigers. However, human beings are unable to bring their mind under control and imprisoned by the cage of their attachment. Human beings will realize their true nature only if the door to their mind opened up. Siddhas reprimand human beings who are refusing to open up their mind and breathe the air of freedom. The billionaire turned into Siddhar Pattinathar informs us that only our mind is blocking the vision of our true nature in the following composition. Vinai pogame oru தேகங் கண்டாய், வினைதான் ஒழிந்தாள். We have taken this body only to get rid of the effect of our good and bad deed, which is karma vinay, done in the past. After taking birth, we were caught in the web of our desires, leading to accumulation of additional ones rather than clearing the old ones. The moment you get rid of all your past deeds, then you may not have an iota of anything for you in this world. Only then you can understand that there are more effects of your past deeds. Leading a life in comfort and luxury with property in your name will not eradicate the effects of your past deeds. If you are unable to do this, then try to follow as described below. Tinai podalavum nilladu kandai, Sivan padam ninai. Remember the lotus feet of Lord Shiva and worship those who remember it. Ninaiporai mevu, ninayarai நீங்கி, இந்நெறியினின்றால். Leave the group who are not remembering it, but you continue the path of devotion. உனைப்போல் ஒருவருண்டோ மனமே, எனக்குற்றவரே, O my mind, there is no one related to me like you. Let us see the reasons for not being free and independent without birth and death cycle. Patinathar is preaching to his mind. O my mind, you had taken this body because of the effects of the deeds of your previous birth. If you get rid of the effects of both good and bad deeds, your mind will not stay in this world for its pleasures even for a second. At that time, surrender to the effulgent divine light form of Lord Shiva. Think about the effulgent divine light form of Lord Shiva, which your mind is thinking, to get rid of your attachment, which is not worried about. You continue to think about the effulgent divine light form of Lord Shiva. If you continue in this path, then there is no one dearer than you. Only our mind is imprisoning us in the cage of attachment. The same mind is keeping a watch on us to not to think about the effulgent divine light form of Lord Shiva and indulges our body, which is going to be a corpse soon, in the comforts of this world, spoils our knowledge and keeps us in the cage without even knowing that we are in a cage. To get freedom from the attachment, we must listen to our knowledge instead of the dictates of our mind. Only knowledge will speak about the truth. The mind will reduce the truth and increase the pleasures of the world and entangle the soul in the web of ignorance. Only our mind is preventing our soul to realize God. If we have to come out of the cage and attain freedom, then first we need to know that our body is functioning under the control of our mind. Must have the knowledge that there is a boundless apocalypse is functioning outside our body and is directing the world and our body function. We must understand that the soul which is inside our body is a smaller divine light form, while the one outside our body is in the form of an apocalypse. We must be conscious that it is the one which does not have a beginning and end, exists forever, and is indestructible. This is the true liberation. The sages, saints, and siddhas are the highly revered till today for their vision of this within themselves. Our Brahma Sutra Kuru is following their tradition called Raja Yoga. The siddhas had realized that our body and the life around the body are ephemeral. They also had the knowledge of the one which is functioning inside our body and directing the body is indestructible, and it is part of the universal apocalypse. Creation protecting the creations, destroying the protected is revolving like a cycle, and the universe is also functioning as a part of the same cycle. Siddhas had freed themselves from this cycle. We have understood neither siddhas nor the path, wandered around and got caged in by the attachments. The objective of the Brahma Sutra Kuru is to make everyone understand the following questions and come out of it. Where are we now? Where do we live? How do we live? Chapter number 6. Is there a relationship between our life and breath? There is a relationship between the air we breathe every day and our lifespan. Only our breath is taking our body towards its destruction in a speedy manner. Our lifespan will increase by retaining the breath within the body. This concept is explained by Siddhartha Ramular in the following stanza. புறப்பட்டு புக்குத் திரிகின்ற வாயுவை, the abundant air is flowing around us freely. நெறிப்பட்ட உள்ளே நின்மலமாக்கில், retain it within yourself with proper instructions and get rid of the 3 obstacles. உறுப்புச் சிவக்கும் உரோமங்கருக்கும், your body will get a reddish tone and your hair will be always black without graying. புறப்பட்டு போகான் புரிசடையோனே, பாடல் 575. The Lord within 3 strands of long matted hair will never leave your body and never destroy it. The air which is abundant in the environment flowing around us freely is breathed in and out by human beings. By learning the Raja Yoga breathing instructions from the Raja Yoga self-realized Guru, you can retain it within yourself. If you could retain it inside, then you can get rid of the 3 obstacles called ego, the effect of good and bad deeds, and illusion. Your body will start to shine by the divine light. The hair in your body will be always black without graying. The Lord of 3 breaths, also called the Lord with 3 strands of long matted hair, will never leave your body by destroying it, which is Lord Shiva. The same point is emphasized by Siddhar Sivavakiyar in the following stanza. உருத்தரித்த நாடியில் ஒடுங்குகின்ற வாயுவை. Find the breath sheltered at the மூலாதாரம். கருத்தினால் இருத்தியே கபாலம் ஏற்ற வல்லீரேல். Could raise it to the skull top by keeping it in mind. விருத்தரும் பாலராவீர் மேனியும் சிவந்திடும். Senile becomes youthful, skin glows red. அருள் தரித்த நாதர் பாதம் அம்மை பாதம் உண்மையே. It is true by the grace of the feet of the god and goddess. When we were growing in the womb of our mother, the 3 breathing patterns called Surya Kalai, Chandra Kalai, Agni Kalai, which is sun, moon, fire, were built inside our body as Sukshamam, which is subtle. After we grow, we must get instructions from a God-realized Raja Yoga Guru to focus our thought on these 3 breathing patterns, which are normally flowing between our lungs and nostrils, and raise them to the top of our head called Sahasraram. If you allow them to flow between lungs and nostrils, it will reduce our lifespan and spoil our body. Therefore, if you learn to keep your thought on your breath and raise it to Sahasraram, then you will overcome the aging process and remain youthful. If one becomes an expert in this process, then they will retain their youth and will not become old due to aging. Siddhar Sivavakir pledges this on the lotus feet of the divine couple, Lord Shiva and Goddess Shakti. Siddhar Sivavakir again re-emphasizes the above point in the following stanza. Sangirandu தாரை ஒன்று சன்னல் பின்னல் ஆகையால். 2 conches and a trumpet are all intertwined therefore. மங்கி மாலுதே உலகில் மானிடங்கள் எத்தனை. Countless human beings perish in this world. சங்கிரண்டையும் தவிர்த்து தாரையூத வல்லீரேல். Avoiding the 2 conches and learning to blow the trumpet. கொங்கை மங்கை பங்கரோடு கூடி வாழலாகுமே. Can live together with the divine Lord with Shakti, who is a part of him. In this stanza, Siddhar Sivavakir refers the 2 conches blowing as our 2 important breathing patterns called Pingala Nadi P and Ida Nadi I, and refers the blowing trumpet as the Sushma Nadi S. Pingala Nadi P is associated with solar energy. Ida Nadi I is associated with lunar energy. These 2 are responsible for keeping the body warm and cold. Sushma Nadi S and running vertically in the body, touching all the 7 yoga chakrams of our body. Pingala Nadi. Pingala has a sun like nature and masculine energy. Its purpose is heating and courses from the right testicle to the right nostril. Ida Nadi I. It has a moon-like nature and feminine energy with a cooling effect. It courses from the left testicle to the left nostril. These 2 breathing patterns automatically changes every 56 minutes and maintain the body temperature by balancing the heat and cold. By breathing through these 2, we lose our lifespan. Sushma Nadi S is also called Agni, fire, or central Nadi because it carries Kundalini Shakti, which is in the form of fire, is referred by the Siddhar Sivavakir as the blowing trumpet. Raising our breath through the Sushma Nadi S will increase the lifespan. Millions of people are not aware of this and allow their body to deteriorate, to lose eyesight, and finally die a pathetic death. If these people learn instructions from a God-realized Raja Yoga Guru to focus on Sushma Nadi and raise the breath to the top of a head called Sahasraram and avoid breathing through Pingala Nadi P and Ida Nadi I, then they will live in union with the divine Lord Ardhanarishwaran, Lord Shiva, with a part of his body as Goddess Shakti. People are living without knowing these secrets. They just take birth, lived a life without a purpose, and at the end simply died like any other living being. Whenever you inquire these people about their well-being, most of them reply, just living through. What is that life which is making us to live? How our body functions? Normally, we don't think about these. When our body becomes weak and sick, we rush to the doctor immediately for a cure, is the truth. Till that point, we try to maintain the health of our body by regular physical exercises and proper food intake. Even after all these precautions, due to an accident or some disease, we agree to the advice of the doctor to remove the affected part from our body to save our life. What is the reason? We are ready to lose the part of our body which was with us from our birth. Why are we not ready to lose our life, which was not even visible to our eyes? Our body is the object of our identification to our kith and kin in this world. However, our life, which belongs only to us alone, comes along with us from birth to birth. Our mind is not ready to accept the separation of life from our body, is the true reason. Why are we not ready to lose the pleasures of this world? not ready to be separated from our worldly possessions and the world. Mind, body, which one is not allowing us to get separated from our possessions? If you think for some time, then you will get an answer. To enjoy the pleasures of this world, only our mind is fighting not to lose our body. Only this mind creates the fear of death in us. How is our mind directing us? Mind does not want to come along with us. Mind is making us to wander around it. We will attain peace only when our mind reaches the state of quietness. Siddharadai Kadar in the following couplet mentions the method of bringing our mind under control. Iruvanayam maadugalai egavidukone. O king, let your twin raging bulls the effects of your good and bad deeds to run. Un kurangu mana maadondru adakki vidukone. O king, bring your mind, the raging bull, under control. Siddhar is advising us to run our two breathing in and out regularly. Your mind will calm down when your breathing calms down. We are unable to control the flow of our breath for half an hour because as soon as we sit down and start breathing, we start thinking about many activities pending and immediately we get up to go for completing those activities.